Well, we've got a lot more info about some Nvidia GPUs firing back at both the low end and kind of lower mid-range tier of the space. However, this RTX 2060 12GB, this card just makes me mad. Just, Nvidia, what are you even thinking? Anyway, we'll come back to this one. The one I'm more interested in here is the RTX 3050. Now, we've been hearing rumors about a 3050 or maybe a 3050 Ti for a while, and then they just sort of died down. We'd been hearing rumors from mostly Kopite, I have no idea how to pronounce the name, but we get lots of GPU rumors and leaks from that source on Twitter all the time, and they're generally fairly accurate, although a lot of times they're so early that the actual plans end up getting adjusted before we end up seeing that card on the market. So those rumors have kind of died down a bit now. And now from video cards themselves, they're claiming that they have a source who gave them information about the RTX 2060 12GB, which makes me mad once again every time I even read that. We'll talk more about that near the end of the video. Anyway, but apparently this is the same source that gave them advanced information about that before we were seeing that reported anywhere else, which would lead us to believe that this is likely accurate information, although again, this is rumors. So, adjusting from what we had seen a while back, we're now looking like this is going to be a 3050, not a Ti version, and it's going to be a GA106-150 GPU, and that it might feature 8 gigabytes of VRAM, okay? So they couldn't verify this with other sources. So video cards like to, check in. They have multiple sources they like to check in. They couldn't verify the 8 gigabytes of VRAM. So anyway, now where does that put us? This puts us apparently along the lines of a 1660 Super, probably higher, but it's going to fall below the performance of this rumored RTX 2060 12GB. Now, here's where I want to now tie this into the broader scheme of the quarter one, quarter two, first half of 2022 GPU space at this performance tier. Because, as I've reported in one of my videos recently, we have rumors of an Intel chip coming in with hopefully a really aggressive price point with performance that, according to Moore's Law is dead, should be around possibly better than a 1650 Super. So now notice the difference here. It's looking like Intel might come in with a 1650 Super-like performance, whereas the 3050 is going to be more like the 1660 Super performance level. Now again, we don't know exactly what the pricing is going to be here, but these are also releasing in this, first or second quarter of 2022. So I think what this could be is a card designed to compete both with that Intel chip as well as the AMD GPUs that I have also reported on recently with the 6500 XT and the 6400 coming in. So it's looking like this 3050 might finally get out the gate to line up against the 6500 XT and to have better performance than this Intel competitor. I really think if Intel's going to compete here, they just have to be incredibly aggressive on the price point. Of course, if they're aggressive on the price point, we could get scalpers that end up ruining that anyway, if miners don't. and miners certainly could as well. So, how does this all put together? Well, this is all coming a little bit down the line, and what we're going to see in the meantime is this. Why? Okay, if you guys understand this card, please tell me in the comment section, because I don't understand this card. Because apparently, the rumor still is that we're seeing this on December 7th. I know that's in this article here, and I've seen it a whole bunch. We are expecting this to launch on December 7th, and this is the RTX 2060 12GB model. And if you're like, oh, I've already heard all this before. Well, we do have some updates here. According to video cards, they've received more information about this. And what I'm really seeing here is that it's expected to use 2,176 CUDA cores. And the reason why that's significant is that means that this is really more of an RTX 2060 Super as opposed to an RTX 2060. Also, it's going to have a higher TDP. So what that's telling me is that this really is closer to the 2060 Super version, which would also put it closer in performance to the 3060 12GB. Although the 3060 would have better ray tracing performance, to my understanding, because of the newer RT cores on that model. But the 2060 Super was within about 8% in terms of rasterized performance of a 3060. And now these will both have 12GB. So, I mean, this card just seems weird. Like why? Why are we doing this? If we wanted it to just be cheaper, why are we adding on more VRAM? Because, I mean, I know 6GB is a bit low, but if you... I don't know, guys. This doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, they are saying that the bus is going to be 192-bit instead of 256-bit, which is what the 2060 Super had. So it's not going to be exactly the same. So I don't know, guys. This is really strange to me. I don't understand this card at all, but, you know, if it's just to, you know, flood some more GPUs into the market, maybe help with supply, great. But again, I don't love sticking 12GB on it because that's just going to increase the cost because memory isn't super cheap right now. Yeah. So anyway, we also have some rumors of some other GPUs coming in, so we might as well throw that in as well. So if we kind of want to summarize all of it, I think they sometimes keep a good, yeah, it looks like Video Cards here has a nice little graphic that we can look at while we talk about this. So the incoming RTX cards that we're expecting for 2022 before they launch we're expecting the 40 series maybe at the end of 2022, but in the first half, we're seeing some updates here. So this 3050 we're expecting in Q2. We're expecting an upgraded 3070 Ti upgraded to 16GB of VRAM, which is much more appropriate than the 8GB that we saw before. Apparently coming in January, that's the rumor. And we're seeing a 3080 upgraded to 12GB of VRAM coming also in January, along with a 3090 Ti in January. So if this is all real, we're seeing a pretty big refresh of the 30 series cards. And I do think that these VRAM amounts seem much more appropriate for the resolutions and textures and settings that we'll be seeing coming in the next few years. So I do like to see this, although again, I'm just really curious what's going on with the cost. And then we're throwing in this 2060 to increase supply, but you just throw on more VRAM on that too. And that runs up the cost. So anyway, what do you guys think about all this? Do let me know in the comment section. Are you looking into these? Are you just giving up on GPUs in general until pricing comes down? Let me know and have an excellent day.